Hi there. Today I am in the beautiful area of Woodland Hills. Yes, Woodland Hills, which is located in Utah County, which is about an hour south of Salt Lake City. And I have had so many people reaching out saying, Mariah, will you do a video on Woodland Hills? I'm thinking about it. I've been hearing more things. So today's your lucky day. We are going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of living right here in Woodland Hills. And we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and my team and I would absolutely love to chat with you and see how we can help. So like I said, I am here today in Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills is in Utah County, and there are so many things to love about this area, but there are also some things that if you don't know some of these things, you may think, oh man, I wish maybe I didn't move to Woodland Hills. So let's start off with some of the pros. Some of the pros is, I don't know if you can see behind me, but wildflowers galore, the mountains, the trees, you feel like you are out in the middle of the country. You feel like there are so many just rolling hills. You're nestled right up against the mountains on the east side. You've got spectacular views of Utah Lake and all of Utah County. So the views and just the natural beauty and the scenery out here in Woodland Hills is literally like next to none. And again, if you feel like you want that like small town charm, and again, you feel like, oh, I want to be a little away from, like, removed from things. I don't want the hustle. I don't want the bustle. I don't want the traffic and the noise. Woodland Hills is just that. It is small town, open fields, rural, very quiet. That's moving right on to number two, is quiet. You literally, there's a lot of new home construction, which we're going to get into in a minute, but for the most part here, minus the construction, it is quiet. I don't know if you can hear it, but like birds are chirping, you can hear nature, you are out in nature, and it is just that. So there's lots of little streams and running water. There are canyons that are close by here too. So the natural beauty, the quietness, the rural area that you are in is amazing. Many people like Woodland Hills too, simply because of the safety. It feels like you see kids running around, you see parents walking their dogs, there's that, like I said, that small town charm, that small town feeling, but you feel like, again, you're out in so far away, but you're really only 15 minutes to Costco. So again, you're far enough away, but you're close, and just the safety, the small town feel feels amazing. Another pro for people wanting to move here to Woodland Hills is the proximity that you are to the Utah Valley. So for those who are commuting into the Utah Valley, for those who are, working in Utah Valley, even Salt Lake, and I know sometimes people think like, oh, if you're moving here from out of state, a half-hour commute, an hour commute, for some people does not feel like a long commute. And especially when you're actually moving on the freeways, you're not stuck in traffic. A lot of here in Woodland Hills, the proximity to Utah Valley, the proximity that you're an hour away from the international airport, you are about 25 minutes away from the Provo airport, which there are whisperings that it will be an international airport shortly, or that is in the works. So that is good for those of you who like to travel. So the proximity, like I had mentioned, to the airports, the proximity to shopping and all of that is a pro for some that feel like, hey, I want to be far enough removed where I've got the nature, I've got the natural beauty, small town feel, lot of open space out here as well. So they have preserved a lot of that. And not to mention quality of living. The quality of living here in Woodland Hills, like I said, there are trails, there are bike paths, there are lots of places to explore, hike and bike. You're close enough So that quality of life, many people are drawn to Woodland Hills simply because they want the slower pace, they want the open space, they want the natural beauty, and you'll definitely get that here. Moving right along, let's hop into some of the cons of living here in Woodland Hills. Now, I know I was talking about the proximity and how close it is to Utah Valley and that. Some people that live here in Utah actually feel like Woodland Hills is a little bit too far away. So for some people, they feel like Woodland Hills is a con to living here because it does take 15 minutes to get to the nearest Costco, because it does take, 10 minutes to get into town. For some people, they're like, that is actually a pro for me because I want to be a little bit farther away from neighbors. I want a little bit more open space. You're going to get that here in Woodland Hills, but the proximity to some of those other things are a little bit farther away. Speaking of proximity, another con for some is the proximity to restaurants, shopping, dining, all of that kind of thing. You are about 10 minutes away from some of those nearest amenities. And for some, they're like, oh, you know what? 10 minutes is a little bit too far, or 15 minutes is a little bit too far from Costco. I want to be a little bit closer to that. So just know here in Woodland Hills, because it's a little bit more rural, because you're a little farther out, you're not going to be as close to shopping, restaurants, and that. Next up is the proximity to Salt Lake City. If you are working in downtown Salt Lake City, you are going to be about an hour away from Salt Lake City. So for some, they're like, that's a deal breaker. That is way too far away. I am not going to, live here and commute that far. So just know, if you are making that commute into Salt Lake City every single day, Woodland Hills may not be the fit for you, just because you are looking at about an hour commute each way. That is without traffic. And there's usually, when you time it, the traffic usually is pretty good. Next up is the winter weather. Yes, the winter weather, even though these mountains are so gorgeous and the scenery is incredible, sometimes here in this part in Woodland Hills, especially if you are nestled up on that East Bench area, you are going to, winter, you're going to see more snowfall in this part of Utah County than you will in some of the other areas, maybe like Provo, Orem, whatnot. But because we are nestled more in the hills, you are going to see more snowfall typically here in Woodland Hills than some of the others. I was actually recently talking to a client and she's like, Mariah, more snow, the better. And so for some people, that really is not that isn't a factor one way or another. Just briefly recapping some of the things that we talked about with pros and cons of living here in Woodland Hills. Number one, when we were talking about different pros, just the natural beauty, the scenery, the ruralness. You feel like you're out in the country, but you're 10 minutes away from shopping. You're 15 minutes away from Costco. You're an hour away from the international airport. For some people, that commute is a little bit too far. For some people, they're like, I love the small town feel. I like that there's more space. The houses are a little bit more spread out. The accessibility that you've got to the hiking, the biking, the trails, all sorts of things right here at your fingertips in Woodland Hills is definitely a draw for some people coming out here. We talked about con being that, shopping, dining, restaurants, those kind of things are about 10 to 15 minutes away, depending on what you're looking for. So that proximity is a little far for some. It's just perfect for others. And we talked about, the international airport is about an hour away. You've got Provo Airport, which is about 25 minutes away. So that proximity for some is just right. For others, it's not. But if you are thinking about making a move out here to Utah, even Woodland Hills, my team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and my team and I would absolutely love to help you out. Take care, and wishing you a wonderful day. Bye.